Let's start by importing GetServerSideProps from Next.js. This import is crucial for TypeScript typing support, ensuring our GetServerSideProps function adheres to the correct signature expected by Next.js. Here we're defining an asynchronous function called GetServerSideProps and typing it with GetServerSideProps. This function is executed server-side before rendering the page, on every request. It receives context as an argument, which includes various properties such as query parameters and request headers that you can use inside the function. Within the function, we're using the fetch API to retrieve data from an external source, in this case, a placeholder API URL. Since fetch returns a promise, we're awaiting its resolution to get the response object. Next, we call the JSON method on the response object, which also returns a promise. By awaiting it, we get the actual data we're interested in, which is typically in JSON format. Lastly, within the GetServerSideProps function, we return an object containing a props object. This props object includes our fetched data, which is then passed to our page component for rendering, as part of the server-side rendering process. We close our GetServerSideProps function with a closing bracket and semicolon. Now, let's define the page component itself. The page component, named page, will receive the fetched data as a prop thanks to GetServerSideProps. Inside our page component, we're rendering a div containing an h1 element to display a heading, followed by a pre-formatted text block that converts our fetched data object into a pretty printed JSON string for easy readability on the screen. This is accomplished with the help of JSON stringify. We close the page component with a closing bracket and semicolon. In the final line of code, we export our page component as the default export of this module, making it available for rendering as a Next.js page.